I am kind of curious about the Panda Controller. Since enough people keep telling me about it, you know, maybe I should look at it.
Yes. Show me your moves.
This is a GameCube controller. Developed 20 years ago for the Nintendo GameCube, it is still the weapon of choice for many serious gamers around the world, especially those who play platform fighters. Today, the only GameCube controllers available are ones that have new, inferior parts. So players have to hunt down and get lucky to find a GameCube controller that has all the right parts and that feels good to them, often paying more than $200 or $300 for the best ones.
I think your name is cool too, Lucid.
The Xbox controller have been updated and revised over the years. Tragically, this one has never had a modern revision until today.
That also helps, Lucid, yeah. It's from the Panda stick box. Removable USB, wire lock, extra triggers. Customizable shoulder height? That's actually kind of sick. You can just straight up remove the shell easily. Bruh. That's actually kind of sick, not gonna lie. Alright, but what about the input delay though? $90? That's not... That's cheaper than I expected.
We had input from pro players, modders, and casual players alike to make what we believe is the ultimate controller no matter what level of play you're at. And with 4 patents pending, we definitely set a new standard for competitive gaming. Now I'll break down the controller features for you. There are some advanced features that I'm not going to get into here, but check out the technical video breakdown below or the FAQ for more information. The controls across the board were made for top level play. We took the best sticks that were ever made and figured out how to make them even better. We made our own stick, and this is the most accurate and durable stick.
Yofi, as far as like input delay?
We
Okay, that makes
and
sense.
remade the D-pad with tactile switches. Smooth face buttons allow you to move from one button to the next seamlessly and faster than ever before. Onto the shoulder buttons. As you can see, the controller has 4 shoulder buttons like modern controllers. The Z buttons were also remade for a much smoother feel. We're also introducing 2 new buttons. The removable back buttons were placed in a position that's natural for your hands, and they're mapped to X and Y. This isn't a wireless controller by default,
Interesting.
but you can unplug the wire for easier storage. It comes with 2 different wires, one at the USB end and one at the GameCube end. There's also a unique optional locking mechanism, so you never have to worry about your controller unplugging until you want it to. The next feature is this. This is the expansion pack. Yes, that's right, we brought it back. This is the weight pack. If we hit our first stretch goal, we'll be able to include this on every controller that allows you to customize the weight to make it as heavy or as light as you like. Now it isn't just the front shell that can be removed. You can also remove the back shell. And when you do, there are a lot of cool customization features that are available to you. And when you put the shell back on, it doesn't have to be the same shape. This is a regular Panda Controller GameCube shell. This is the Panda Controller Pro shell. Changing the shape of the grip allows for more wide grips and much more comfortable grips for a lot of players, and is based off of the Pro controller. And changing the shape of your controller
That's
is
so
as easy
interesting.
as snapping on the front and snapping on the back. Another cool feature about this controller is that it's future-proof. We actually have firmware with a memory chip on the controller, so we can update it whenever we want.
Bruh.
We want to make a controller that isn't elite or pro just in name. We want our actual pros, like the ones on our roster, to use it. And we want a controller that bolsters the amazing modern artist community that has grown around the GameCube controller. We want to make a controller for everyone.
Hey guys, I'm Matt. I'm the president and lead engineer of Panda Hardware. There are a lot of little details in this controller that we haven't gotten a chance to explain yet.
Maybe
I'm
it
really
holds together
excited to
pretty
show
well
it
with
off for you.
numbers.
We reverse engineered the T3 stick box, which is what many modders think is one of the best stick boxes out there. On top of redesigning it, we modernized features to make it our own, including adding a tactile click. The Panda stick box
Nice.
is compatible with all T3 motherboards as well as our own controller. It will also be available for purchase separately from the controller. In addition to enlarging the D-pad and adding tactile switches, we've made it so it's much easier to make circular motions by putting the center on a pivot. The smooth buttons, also known as bald buttons, were a recommendation to us from modders, allowing people to get the fastest movement between button presses as possible. For our ZL and ZR buttons, we've redesigned them so that they have rubber pads, so for a more comfortable feel when you press it. Additionally, in GameCube mode, both of them are matched to the Z button. When you plug in via
Imagine
USB,
buying the
it's
Panda
detected
controller
as
and then
per
rage
control.
quitting and
So
throwing
ZL
it.
is ZL and ZR is ZR. The back buttons, by default, are mapped to X and Y. If you'd like to, you can remove the two buttons, and in their place, you can put in two plugs that come with the controller. Now, let's get to customization features. We decided to bring back the expansion pack, and with that, our first expansion pack will be a weight pack, allowing you to change the weight
I have not
of the
bought one.
controller to your desire.
I'm
Down the line,
considering
we're
it
planning
though
on
because
adding other expansion packs.
some of this
First,
sounds
maybe
nice,
an
not gonna
audio
lie.
pack. Included under the expansion pack bay is an M3 Allen wrench. This is the only tool you need to take the controller completely apart.
I think that's the point of it, Goated, yeah.
Place, and it doesn't only take apart the controller. Can
It
also
seems
be
really
used
good.
to adjust your triggers, as well as to change the trigger modes on the dials on the inside. You can customize the height of your trigger with 16 different settings using that Allen wrench. Now, once your height is changed, you'll need to calibrate your controller so that you can still hit every single analog value. To do that, we've added a calibration button right here. This calibration button is also used for the sticks. If you have a different gate or you remove and change your gate, you can calibrate your stick for alignment and to allow you to have 1.0 cardinal inputs. Speaking of gates,
Cool.
these gates aren't part of the front shell. They've been made separately so that if notchers want to notch a gate, they can be removed easily and that you don't have to sacrifice a whole shell in prototyping a notch.
That's
It's possible to
sick.
put Other field and light shield on two different triggers or whatever.
That's something I'm
combination.
worried about when numbers like
Besides just having a GameCube style shell, we decided to add a different style as well, which we call
it'd be
a
kind of
shell.
funny if
In a much more
the
comfortable
Nintendo Circuit takes over for a lot of events and then they're like,
Now,
oh, by the
it's
way,
not just limited to these two shapes. As long as it fits with our magnetic harness system, any shape is possible.
maybe Nintendo would be
We
like,
don't
no
want to
modded
throw this
controllers,
controller
the
out
Panda
into the
controller
wild and
must not be
support
here.
it. So we're not planning on implementing these features at launch. We want to make sure that everything we add to this is tournament legal.
That's interesting though, genuinely.